Today, our very special guest is Marty Gallagher. Marty was the coach for the USA powerlifting team, and he is the author of a very, very good book that I've read personally called The Purposeful Primitive. Marty, are you on the line?
I am indeed, sir.
Hi, Marty. If you could tell our listeners a little bit about you, that would be great.
About me?
Yes.
Oh, well, let's see. This coming year, I celebrate my 50th year in progressive resistance training. I've been competing at a national and international level since 1967. Mm-hmm. My most recent world championship was in 2005 as a masters lifter. Mm-hmm. I just got back from a week of intensive instruction with the Special Forces in Virginia Beach, and it was quite coincidental that when you called, you were interested in much the same thing that they were.
Oh, fantastic! Which is what do we do with 20 minutes 3 times per week? So, what would be your answer?
Well, here's how it related to the Special Forces, and I think it also relates to the normal individual.
Sure.
The elite fighters have a limited amount of time to spend in the gym. They don't have the luxury of spending an hour a day 6 times a week. So they approached me and they said, listen, how can we get the most for the least in terms of our training time? Which ties in nicely to our whole retro fitness methodology, which we've been working on for probably the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. And what it entails is dramatically cutting back the number of progressive resistance exercises that you're using, complementing that with some sensible cardio, and then we tie it all together with some inexpensive organic eating.
Mm-hmm. So let's be a bit more specific. What specific exercise would you cut out, and what exercise would you leave in there?
Well, it's very simple. First off, you don't need to belong to a gym. You don't need access to exercise machines. Mm-hmm. Machines are inferior to free weights. Everyone likes to use the free weights because they get to sit. They like to use the machines because they get to sit or lie down.
Yep.
Factually, free weights are much more effective. Mm-hmm. They require muscle stabilizers to fire in order to push or pull them. So what we've done is we've pared back to 4 core exercises. Mm-hmm. Those are the squat or the deep knee bend.
Yep.
The overhead press.
Okay.
The bench press, and the deadlift.
Fantastic.
Now, the way that we've structured that is on day 1, you do your squat and your bench press, and you work up to 1 maximum set in each exercise, and then 3 days later you come into the gym and you work up to 1 maximum set in the overhead press and the deadlift.
Right.
Now, between those 4 compound multi-joint exercises, you hit all the muscles on the human body.
That's right. Now, you mentioned that we're working up to a maximal set. What can we expect out of this routine? Can we expect weight loss? Can we expect muscle maintenance, muscle gain? What can we expect?
You need to be clear on this because it's widely misunderstood. When you engage in resistance training, you should expect one thing and one thing only, and that's muscle hypertrophy, muscle growth. If you want to reduce body fat percentile, you need to look to your cardio, and mainly you need to look to your diet. So resistance training, now with the system that we're using, a normal person who is not a ranger or a SEAL, they're going to be able to work up to a maximum set of between 5 and 8 reps within probably 3 minutes. The same thing with the second exercise. You can literally be finished the 2 exercises in session 1. Again, this is a beginner or an intermediate trainee within 15 minutes at the most.
Right.
On session 2, you can also be through the entire session within 15 minutes. You only need 2 sessions a week. The recovered training time you should use for cardio. Now, the cardio that we prefer is outdoor walking or jogging. Okay?
Right.
We don't like the exercise machines. We see too many repetitive motion injuries from people who are addicted to these machines. Again, you're inside. You're breathing in the stale, recycled breath of the guy on the machine next to you who had 16 beers the night before.
Yep.
It's generally an unhealthy environment.